Good morning. So, February 1st, the start of Black History Month, African American History Month, as we call it, 2016. So I am coming back to you guys to give you some resources and just show you what we are doing. I kind of gave a jump start last month, Martin Luther King resources, so I thought I would share with you guys a little bit. So if you are I don't want to say struggling, but at a loss, it's not too late to start. I know today's the first day, and if you want everything laid out, you may be feeling like you're struggling, but don't. If you go to Scholastic's website, scholastic.com, they have a section on African American inventors, and I mean, it's each inventor. There's a couple of inventors. There's a picture, a little bio, and what they invented. This is a great start to introducing. If you're introducing, it's a great start. I mean, it's not too much information, but it's just enough. And then you can go on. This will get you to, you know, if you want to go on and further research these individuals, or get some, go to the library and get some library books if you do not have these in your home library. Yeah, there's Garrett Morgan, and we are getting ready to do Garrett Morgan today. If you guys don't know, he invented a new form of the traffic signal and the early version of the gas mask. So we are getting ready to talk about him and do a little craft with the littles with them. This is, you know, introducing history, African American history at any age level can be appropriate. For the little ones, it's, you know, a lot of quick things like this, and then you could go on to do a little craft that encompasses their invention. Like him, this is easy as doing the stoplight, and that introduces colors. And each year you can go back and, you know, still you can learn new inventors because there's a ton of them, but you can build upon what you already know, and so, you know, further it according to their age level and ability to understand these people. As they grow, they will want to read, you know, the biographies and things like that. So it's a good thing. I don't know if you want to do it by day or week, what have you. And we are going to learn about Dr. Bath. I'm particularly been very fond of her because her and I share a birthday. So yes. Don't know about her. Learn, and she is still living, so it's a good thing to incorporate older people as well as current, because there are a lot of current famous African Americans. One being President Obama, and this year is being that it is the last year, definitely, you know, everybody should take advantage, you know, and teach the children, you know, before he's, I'm not saying gone, but, you know, out of his office. Let them learn, you know, what it means, because we don't know what's next. Anyway, here is a list. Let me see if I can show Black History checklist, and it's basically take a sorry guys, I'm getting ready to walk and turn on the light. It's dark in here. Alright, I apologize for that. Cross out people that you've learned about. Circle 10 people that you would like to learn about. And, okay. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Ruby Bridges, which we are going to, you know, I'll get to that in a minute. George Washington Carver, Malcolm X, Kathy Williams, Frederick Douglass, Eloise Greenfield, Langston Hughes, Jackie Robinson, W.E.B. Du Bois, Ella Baker, Bill Pickett, Henry Box Brown, Booker T. Washington, Dr. May C. Jemison, Mary Fields, Stagecoach Mary, Thurgood Marshall, Colin Powell, General Colin Powell, Marian Anderson, Louis Armstrong, yeah, Duke Ellington, Sojourner Truth, definitely one, Ellen and William Craft, Josephine Baker, James Booker, Matthew A. Henson, Dr. Maya, one of my favorites, the Tuskegee Airmen, Evan Ford, and the Little Rock Nine. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else on here that, I mean, there's so many more I can add. There's a couple more that are not on here that we are going to cover this month, and basically we're going to go take one person a day, and we don't do this just this month, but this is what we're focusing on. So yes, but let me show you guys some of the resources and things that we have that you can go and seek and find at your library. So I know you guys are probably that'll be your go-to spot is a library. So yay. Alright, back before I get to our resources, I want to share something else. blackinventor.com, and as you can see, it's broken down. Female inventor, male inventor, and it will give you their picture and information once you click on their picture. But this one has lots and lots of inventors. So just a great way to, another great way to break it down. And of course with the older kids, it's a little bit easier to let them just come on and pick. They can do, you know, you might want to have them do like a reader response type log on these people. You may pick a couple of them and do essays and things like that. So I said for the little ones, it may be just going in and reading, you know, whatever about them and let them learn that way until they get older, and then you build on that. because little ones don't understand. Well, I'm not going to say they don't understand. They are not capable of doing, you know, essays and things like that when they're really preschool age, kinder age. But reading to them is just so valuable. If you do nothing but find books on these people and read, even if it is just a paragraph, read it to them, because you never know what questions that little reading may do for that child. So alright, here we are at doonething.org, and show you what I'm looking at. Skip that. And you can print out each one of these bios. Let me get to the rest. There you go. There are 85 pages, so I don't know if you want to print out the entire book, but or you know, do one by one. But this is, like I said, it's not something that you should do just this month. Keep this going all year, every day. You know, this could be a weekly thing. Pick one person each week and learn about them, study about them, and that way, printing out the book, then you will have a complete book to look back on. Okay, so this is just a lot of there are actors and singers and philanthropists, Mary J. Blige, Julian Bond, Noah Brown, Jimmy Cliff, Shirley Chisholm, Angela Davis, Ozzie Davis. What's it about Shirley Chisholm? Is a relative of mine. Frederick Douglass. And just all kinds of people. Lawrence Fishburne, Marion Wright Edelman, Morgan Freeman, from around my hometown in the country. It's interesting. My daughter went down there before she left for college with my dad, and said, we just left Morgan Freeman's house. So, like, there's a mix of male and female, past, current. Nelson Mandela. So, yeah, take advantage. And teach the children. Alice Walker, Cornel West, Oprah Winfrey, Stevie Wonder, Carter G. Woodson, Whitney Young. So, and then there's the back cover. And, you know, for little ones, you can, I would encourage printing it black and white, just like this. That way they can color in. Give them some colored pencils and they can color in. Or a colored pencil. In this case, brown. But yeah, let me show you guys what we are, some of the things that we are using this month. Alright, here is YouTube resource, The Story of Ruby Bridges. So we have the book. We will read the book, and I will also let them listen to story. So you guys can go and find the story. And here is the Harriet Tubman story. It is animated and there's music, so you can also look for that. The ABCs of Black History. I'm going to show you, if you guys just search Black History for Kids, you're going to bring up a wealth of information. And this is a good one. It just goes to the ABCs. And you want to not forget the songs, because song is very important in African American history. Song and dance. That was just the way to express ourselves when there really was no other way. I have, this is in a playlist of mine under Kids Educational. Excellent playlist, and this is a favorite song. But there's the list. And there's also the Negro National Anthem, Black National Anthem. There, Lift Every Voice and Sing. So I encourage you guys to take a look. And it's always good when the kids are watching other kids sing and dance. So now I need to get to, like I said, get to our resources and show you guys what we have going on. Alright, I am going to start with some of the most obvious. I picked these up at Dollar Tree last year, I think. Actually, it was 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, it had to be 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago. And I just held on to them because we don't always have these things in, but this month would be a good time to go look for them in the teacher section. So we are going to, I pull these out, we are going to work on these interviews. And then they also have this Black History activity mat, and it includes a word scramble. There's a timeline, there's a word search, fill in the blank, and then a crossword puzzle. So we'll just go through and work on that, and they have the answers at the bottom if you need. And I think there are 10 of each in each one of those. So there's that. Let me go ahead and do these books because they're in the way. I think I showed you guys this recently. The kids are loving cooking from the book, so I'm just going to let them come up with whatever they want to cook up, and we are going to cook up some dishes. I know I have my ideas, but I'm going to let them choose, and they're pretty good about picking. So don't forget about the food. The food is very important in African American culture. Sunday dinner. Okay, then we have an illustrated treasury of African American read aloud stories, and we have already been reading through this book, specifically In the back, there are biographies of Arthur Ashe, Ray Charles, Sojourner Truth. There's also some stories of slavery, incidents of a slave, in the life of a slave girl, up from slavery, narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass. So, we're going to read through those. There are also some songs in here which are very important, like I mentioned. He's got the whole world in his hand, swing low, sweet chariot, down by the riverside, this little light of mine, kumbaya, and Miss Mary Mac. So, we will learn those, the ones that we don't know, and the ones that we do know, we will just keep singing. That was, song was a way to, it was code, really. It was code, because back in the day, you could not let the master know what was going on, so everything was done through song. So there is that. And I'll just go this way. We have Maya. She is one of my favorites. So Maya and me, or My Painted House, My Friendly Chicken and Me. And it's very, very simple. And we have read this book before, but wanted to introduce it again. And then we have this one, which I love, and I've also read a couple times. Peaceful Protest, The Life of Nelson Mandela. And it is rather lengthy, but the pictures in here are awesome. Just art. Nice eye candy. And then we have Going Someplace Special. Okay, let me back up. What I did was, you guys know, we back in the summer I bought up a whole bunch of books, a million. So I went to my library, our library over there. I specifically saved certain books for this month because I knew I wanted to incorporate them for use. And also I pulled off of this side of the library. So we didn't read them. And like I said, some of them we are reading again. But I saved specific ones. And what I did was pull out the ones that are specifically talking about slavery or African American history or an individual. So that's where we're going with this. These are going to be lessons and also bedtime stories. So Going Someplace Special. This was a favorite when the older kids were little. This little girl, Trisha Ann, is going to town. And there is some mention of Jim Crow in the story, but it is honestly, I mean, my older kids understood just fine. They didn't have any problem when they were younger. So I wouldn't say it's anything too far out there that they couldn't understand, and something for you to discuss with them. So there's that. Great author. I don't want to say the favorite, but I guess the favorite is If a Bus Could Talk. We love this book. Faith Ringgold. And ours is autographed. So, of course, you're going to see. But you could, not get into that if you don't want to. You can, cater it to how you want. My kids, I give them the full story. We've already read the book to the little ones. We're going to read again. They want to know. They don't want to skip. They ask questions, so I will explain to them everything that they need to know. that. We have Frederick Douglass, Portrait of a Freedom Fighter. Slaves in the cotton field. I mean, I would not, this is just something I would not skimp on any of the information. Our kids need to know this. They need to know it before they get the wrong information. Coming Home, the story of Josh Gibson, baseball greatest home run hitter. And then we have Freedom School, yes. And this is the story of Jolie. What are you doing? She wants to, wait a minute. She wants to, she's going to school. And so, you guys know back in the day how school was for us. And there's some mention of Benjamin Banneker in here, Harriet Tubman. I'm trying to think who else they discuss in here. Crispus Attucks, Peter Salem.
Mom, can I do that writing that I...
In just a minute, you'll do your spelling words.
Mom, I got my
Okay.
pen.
Okay, go. And then talked about the story of Ruby Bridges, also a favorite when my older kids were growing up. So we are going to discuss Ruby Bridges after we read this and watch the movie. And I just thought about it, but you may be able to get Ruby Bridges at the library, the story, or the video DVD. I just, because we own these things, I kind of forget, but these are ones that I like to buy. DVDs and books. So, and then we have 101 African American Read Aloud Stories. And in here we have, it's kind of like the blue one. And it's also a favorite. We've been reading through here. The older kids loved here. In biography, there's Alvin Ailey, Arthur Ashe, Ray Charles, Daniel Chappie James, Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Colin Powell, Arthur Stromberg, Sojourner Truth. And then in history, the Black Heroes of the American Revolution, William Lee, George Latchcomb, Austin Dabney, Prince Whipple, James Fortin, and some African American inventors. In here, there's things about slavery. And there's song and poetry in this one. So, some of the ones that are in the blue book, but then also a couple different ones. So that's how we are going to use that, because we haven't explored the back side of the book. I left that, but we have already been reading through that book. Look at my phone, it's ringing. I'm going to call her back later. She didn't call back. Okay, and then we have The People Could Fly, one of my favorites, by Virginia Hamilton. And my, okay, towards the back of the book, they have Slave Tales of Freedom, Carrying the Runaways. So we are going to read through those. Of course, my favorite is The People Could Fly. Just nice little tale. But, let's see what else. And then we have 100 People Who Changed America. There are a couple of people in here that we are going to cover. Oprah Winfrey and Madam C.J. Walker. A little bit on Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth. So, yeah. And then we have Almost to Freedom, and love the pictures in here. And starts out, they are picking cotton and they are singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Miss Rachel and Lindy, and just how things were back during slavery and how they want to run away to the north. And what it talks about reading and writing. Lindy wants to learn how to read and write and what will happen if she learns to read and write and things like that. So this is a really good one. Then we have Henry Aaron and Babe Ruth, home run champions. That. And then we have Richard Wright and the library card. And of course, Richard wants to get a library card. And what happens once he learns to read and write. One of my favorites, and I'm trying to stifle a sneeze. Excuse me, Minty. Like it says, a story of young Harriet Tubman. So it's got the Coretta Scott King Award. Oh, this one is so, just awesome. Her and Master's wife. So I'm gonna give it away, but look for that one. If you traveled on the Underground Railroad. These books, this series, the whole series of them, these are great because it gives information in just enough pieces. And they are talking about Slave Song, a song about Canada. And there are questions in within the story. That way you can make sure that they get the comprehension part of it. So good teaching books in themselves. And then we have 5 Brave Explorers. And we're going to discuss Dr. Macy Jemison, of course. And then we have Lift Every Voice and Sing. This is the spiritual, the Black National Anthem in a story. Tie that together. I will let them watch the actual video of the song. And then we have More Than Anything Else, and this is the story of a little boy. That scared me. It's my fax machine. And his father, and they were working during slavery, type of work they did, and just their life. So this is going to teach it. We have it from a girl's perspective in the other book. This is from the little boy's perspective. So, oh, great stories and discussions. As you can see, he is writing in the salt. You guys are on salt boxes for sensory, homeschool sensory boxes. That's nothing new. We used to do it however we could do it. Alright. I'm going to go back down my list to get my last bit. Okay. Alright. Then we have some printables that we're going to do some things with. I'm going to do a collage with this one. This one is Rosa Parks on the bus, and the bus, and a little bio. So that's going to go on a collage, so I had to get it small. And we have Macy Jimson that the kids are going to color. Of course, our president. And then we have a little deal on Madam C.J. Walker. And a couple more people. I'm going to talk about what is an inventor. And Bill Bojangles Robinson. Bill's little thing. These are out of order, but. And then what is an artist. Here's our little deal from Madam C.J. Walker. Comprehension part. And then Nick Jr. has a cute little coloring pages on this for this month. So, little bio down there. Tuskegee Airmen. Negro Leagues. Buffalo Soldiers. Black Cowboys. I just realized I forgot a book because we actually read it last month, but I'm going to show you guys. And we have, this is going to go on our collage. And this is going to go on our collage. And they actually watched a bio on, I want to say on the Food Network some time ago on George Washington Carver. So they learned. So we're going to just let them color that. That's going to go on our collage. And then we have Rosa Parks here. We have Thurgood Marshall, Charles Drew, Jackie Robinson, Nelson Mandela. And then we have an activity that we're going to do about Louis Armstrong. There's a coloring page. And then we have a couple of timelines here. Something really simple, but discussion around it. And this is actually created for a second grade class. And then we also have Ruby Bridges. And I think Ruby Bridges is the one that's kind of hardest to find. There are almost no coloring pages, and they don't say Ruby Bridges. That's the issue. But it is very basic. You really have to go with books and the movie, like I suggested, because it's not that much this type of information. And of course they can do a bio and, you know, report and things like that. But for the little ones, it's not too much. and I wanted something hands-on.
Fix this
Okay.
now.
Hey, hold on. And then we have what is this?
I'm leaving it off.
Okay, hold on. Civil Rights Movement. This is a little packet. It's talking about the Civil Rights Act. Here's a timeline. Here's a map of the timeline. Which event was furthest north? Which event was furthest south?
Chocolate donut.
Okay, wait a minute. So we will work through these. Then and now we're going to look at the pictures to the left and explain what is different now. Restaurant designates an area for African Americans to eat. Segregation. And my kids already know, pretty much what this is, just a whole new way of bringing it to them. I'm going to put it down on paper. I want their ideas of then and now. And we have some information on Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and research project. They are actually not going to do this, but I wanted the packet. We're going to use this sometime next year once they get a little bit older and they're able to actually do a little research on their own. But I went ahead and printed out the entire packet because I liked it. And then let me show you this last book. Sorry, I'm moving you guys around, but I don't want to stop the video for that. Alright, Bessie Coleman. I posted on Instagram the other day because it was Bessie Coleman's birthday, so we read talking about Bessie, and very significant book for us because we actually found the book. We checked the book out at the library when it was published, and my mom was with us then, and she actually was the one that read the book to the kids, my older kids, when they were younger. And this was actually the last book that she read to them before she passed away. So this book holds a very, very special place in our hearts and home. It's kind of, hard to read it, knowing, the story behind it for us, but very significant. I had to make sure the kids knew and they know the story of, of her and her reading the story. But I went ahead and bought the book because we liked the book. So after before
get some of your old-fashioned donuts.
Before I returned it to the library, I bought it. So that looks like. And it's broken down. It's a, fairly big book, but it's broken down into who played a part in her life. So yeah, we did just read this because it was her birthday. So check that out, and there's lots to do, and we are going to do some things with airplanes and things like that because her and the Tuskegee Airmen, and there's just so many more things. I just wanted to kind of get out what I have laid out, but it does not include everything I will try to capture or just put up pictures once activities are completed, because like I said, there's some artwork and things like that, crafts. So I will post those things on Instagram and on my Facebook group so that you guys can see. But hopefully this gives you some sort of idea and direction and how to pull together some things piecemeal method, because really this is the best way to go. And you know, if, like I said, if you don't own these books, go to the library. If you don't own the DVDs, go to the library and check some things out. I think I'm going to come back and show you guys. Yeah, I'll just come back because there's some DVDs that I have not shared, but I'll come back and share those in a separate video because I don't want this completely long. So shoot me your comments, your ideas, your requests, and I look forward to talking with you guys. Enjoy your day, enjoy your month. Happy African American History Month. Be blessed. And on that note, I need to let these kids pick out dinner so that we can have dinner tonight. Bye-bye.